Mike, I've been really into this brand. You know how every single brand is going into this nostalgic play and bringing back their heritage? It's a big topic right now with Lacoste bringing back the original alligator, which
Mhm.
everybody loves. Why change something that is so iconic in the first place? So, in that realm, there's an Australian brand I actually never heard of. It's called Redheads. Have you ever heard of it?
I saw something recently online, but I would love to look at it a bit more.
So it's a brand that every Aussie kid knows. It was founded in 1946. They're like matchboxes and barbecue fuel, anything for a barbecue. And this is what they look like throughout history. They have this character, this woman called Miss Redheads. It's a pretty rad brand. And there's this Melbourne brand studio called Oliver Grace that did their rebrand. And it's almost like brands are going home. This brand goes home. And in the 1970s, they were all about Swiss modernism, and it really filtered into the brand. You can see in the middle right there. It's
Mhm.
almost like subway aesthetic that everybody loved and brought back not too long ago. Um, and so they reinvented, but didn't really reinvent. They just went back to what was working and what they loved in this rebrand. And I discovered it on this blog, The Brand Identity. It's really cool. It's super poppy. They know what they own. They
Yeah.
own fire. And they took their iconic character, Miss Redheads, and they turn her hair into fire.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those little wicks at the bottom of it. Such a sweet little detail.
Yeah, look at this. I found the font they're using is Bold Fusion Grotesque in the word mark and on the packaging, which is straight out of Swiss modernism.
Yeah.
This is what made me
Oh, that's rad.
really fall in love with this rebrand. Not only is it everything's built on a grid and built with perfect circular shapes and rules for it to really balance everything, but the motion of it, the negative space being used for it, and it all comes back to their heritage in the 70s and the 1940s. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's rad. Can we also just take a moment to have an appreciation for the name Redheads?
Mhm.
It just describes the actual original product of a match, which I absolutely love. There's such a intrinsic need or want for any designer or design studio when you get a project like this to put your mark on it and want to make a ton of updates and bring it into this modern look and feel, which they did in a really subtle and tasteful way, but without abolishing 80 years of brand equity that they already have in this iconic mark. They actually retain a lot of her exact facial features and changed bits of the hair, but not throwing that away. And like you were saying, getting back to the actual heritage and nostalgia of a brand that is so widely recognized, probably throughout Australia and globally as well, is such a smart play. And it's an homage to what that brand has built over time, right? Without throwing away something like that.
100%. When you know what you own fire. You really lean into it. And leaning into it, the heritage just gives an ownability that you can only create through decades and decades and decades of branding and consistency. I love how it's like the beautiful emotion of the character and
Mhm.
fire. And it's not lost on me that the brand's called Redhead. She's a redhead. They start to call people who are buying their product, Redheads. Again, it goes into community building through branding. And
Yeah.
even a brand from 1946 is doing it.
Will you go back to that lay flat real quick of, all the products?
This
The
one right here.
It's interesting too, obviously, they have this nostalgia in building these briquettes and, fire starters and matches, but they're not throwing away the fact that consumerism has evolved into or
Mhm.
stick lighters and butane torches and butane gas and things like that, which is cool because it's like they're not tossing that original product as well either. Something else that really stands out to me at first glance, it almost looks like it's a singular or two-tone color palette because the red is so prominent. But when you
Mhm.
look a lot closer at it, you've got that fire engine red, that's her actual hair color. Then you've got that background kind of cherry red, which creates that nice separation. You've got the white of her face, the black of her characteristics, and then there's either one or two tones of that brown, which for a brand that is focused on fire and is focused on barbecue, it's like it has those natural woody tones and it almost has that matchstick tan kind of color as well to it, you know?
And where I love this the most too is when it's just the one red and it's the negative space.
Yeah.
I mean, I can totally understand that there needs to be variety and you can't just have everything look the same. So they have more diversity in their color palette. But it is so cool when everything works in the negative space.
Well,
And if
too, on the negative space, singular toned one, it's
like,
it's the
there's a
characters
double.
that cut into her face that also have the wisp of a
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. And I love this that is featured on this blog of showing how it's made out of a grid. And
Mhm.
one thing I found in my research was the grid is a strength, not just for the design system, but in this industry in Australia, there's a lot of legal requirements
Mm.
and a lot of disclaimers, and they have to be very prominent. And it's the grid allows them to be prominent in a way that actually works with the design. And I thought that was really interesting. Like in good design, everything has a reason.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay. Legal is an obstacle that we're going to have to get past, and we're going to have to put big disclaimers on our product. How do we use it as a strength? Well, they made this Swiss modernism grid system. And now that, we talk all day, every day about how do we bring great brand systems into the tools that we're building and how use them in other tools. And like this is a system that you could plug into new emerging tech tools and using AI to scale it. It's really built for the consistency. Smart. It's really smart.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with things that we've been building together, a lot of those inputs, because they're code based, it's math, right? And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
these AI systems love is like math. Really interesting. You say something often that it's not a mistake that, and that's usually what good design begins with, right? It's like that was intentionally thought of probably before they even put pen to paper, right? It was building the layout grid and building that mathematical system that everything would fit within. It's really smart.
When anybody starts a project, here's a list of our challenges. All right.
Yeah.
How do we work within these challenges? And you have to. Here's some more work as
I love
well.
the simplicity of the product photography too. It really leans on obviously the red and making that packaging the absolute hero. They're not trying to overcomplicate this with uh, crazy product photography setups or scenes or over prop stylizing it. It's just flat red, flat tan,
Hmm.
hard shadow, and really letting the actual product itself be in the forefront.
And I love the box too on the right. That's a shoe box.
Mhm.
I could get Adidas in that.
Yeah.
I can get Nikes in that. It's, I mean, it's actually designed like a shoe box too.
Yeah. That's something that you wouldn't want to hide away in your cabinet, right? You want it to be prominently on display in your house.
Oh, good point. Instead of the garage, it's in the
Yeah.
cabinet. Yeah. Yeah. So turning a fire starter brand in Australia from 1946 into a lifestyle brand. Yeah, they get it. They get it. Let's jump into what Oliver Grace, maybe they have some more. So this is the agency in Melbourne that did the project. Yeah, look at that.
Mhm.
Every little detail is important. Did you realize, Mike, did you realize like all these brands we're talking about are red?
I know. I thought about that yesterday.
I thought that, yeah, yeah. I was thinking about that too when I was looking at this. Is it because they just happen to be red and great branding projects, or is red becoming a trend?
Well, it's interesting because of the industry you and I work within, the tech industry. There's so many uh, similarities in neons and use of super bright, um, almost overbearing RGB web colors. And when you get back to these nostalgic brands that are tangible products, DTC companies, you can go back to basics, right? The original print of these things probably, I would love to hold one of these packages in hand and see what that looks like.
Yeah.
It is interesting. That's what it seems like a lot of CPG stuff is starting to gravitate back towards.
Yeah, I think there's a shift happening in a lot of design right now where I woke up this morning and the Spotify app on my phone had so much dimensionality
I
to it.
I saw that. I saw the same thing and I thought that my app was
Me too.
loading.
Me too. Yeah.
It's a disco ball. That's what I saw.
Oh, I didn't know what it was. You're right.
I
It's a disco ball.
I had to squint so hard to look at it, but it caught my eye, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. You have like that, which is we're going back into early 2000s, a lot of dimension, old school Instagram logo
Mhm.
aesthetic, or like Higgsfield in the AI space is just maximum design, throw the kitchen sink at everything.
Mhm.
And then you have brands like Lacoste and Redheads and all these other brands that are like, yeah, we're going to strip it all back.
Yeah. It's a testament to what Oliver Grace has done here too, right? It's walking that fine line, like I was mentioning earlier, of they got this project and I guarantee you they were so stoked about it. And to practice restraint while also honoring the legacy of what this brand is, yet they've got to do something, to do a brand refresh. This is not a redesign, right? This is a brand refresh, and it's balancing that historical legacy and putting their own twist on it as they did a killer job.
Yeah, I agree. And you can see everything is intentional. Well, I feel like we can talk about this all day. Dude, you need one of these hats.
I know. To join my wall.
I want this shirt.
I love their merch. They have this community around it now, and it's like barbecues. Like, yeah, they're like they got beach towels. It's awesome. These headline treatments are cool because this is like a super modern way to do this. I've seen this treatment a couple of times before. Um, it's like keeping the iconography within the headline that kind of like tells a story with it.
Maybe if we're talking about where I wish they would have taken it, especially on this homepage, I can see more nostalgia
Mm.
and looking back and use of the original branding elements like Miss Redheads here. I
Mhm.
love this. This is
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah, I
want
love
more of this. And then I love this too. I want more of this as well. Like
yeah.
they should have gone more vector crisp animation with what they did in the rebrand and connected it to the heritage. I think that could have been a really cool place to go, but it's still rad.
The motion adds just that extra little layer. They say no two waves are the same or the same with the flame and how it flickers, right? There's no actual
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
consistency to it, yet, like, they're
yeah.
using a super sharp vector. I wish that there was more pieces of it that were in motion because the way that it
Uh,
flicks off those little flames is really rad.
you could use AI to make it so it never repeats the pattern.
Yeah, randomize it.
Randomize it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
yeah. It's like little things, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but what a design system that could really be used in the tools we're building. So that's what gravitated me towards it as well.
Yeah, I love it. Hopefully next brand that we pick is, maybe a diversion away from red, even though there seems to be
Okay,
a theme here.
new rule. No red for the next one. It'll be funny if we struggle to pick one that isn't red.
Or we find one we both love and we're like, "Oh, damn it, it's
Red
red."
it is. But we can always change this series to red brands are everything.
It would be on theme.
All right, cool. Glad we got to talk about this one.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for sharing.